Hey, let's see. I think we're live. I think it is that time of night for everybody. So, what is going on? I just got to check to make sure that I've got all of my systems up and running as best as I possibly can. And there we go. Boom. All right. What's up, everybody? Hey, it's Monday. It's that time again. Keep Calm and Carry is back on, and we've got a returning guest, one of our friends from down south below the equator. Geography-wise, geographically, I think is the word. Keep you guys heads out of the gutter. So I'm glad that you guys were able to come. We've got a lot of things to talk about, stuff going on down there, stuff that's going on here, all that type of stuff. So let's say hi to everybody in the chat room. Things are already rolling. DeGrim Reaper in there first. Dr. Cat Milk is rolling in second, and GGLFGGG is number 3. We got Shocker Shooter, and we've got Shepherd. Art, good to see you, bud. Hey, that switchback that you were asking me about, yes, do it. Get that light. You will like it. I looked at it a little bit more, and I think I'm going to get one of those as well. Systems checked as go. Okay, right, got it. Thanks, Econ. All right, let's see, Richard. Hey, what's going on? So we've got an Aussie and we've got a Brit. All right, all righty, awesome sauce. Let's see. TRG Builds, what's going on? Wheeled and well armed. Nice. How you guys doing, man? Heath Adams. Hey, brother. What's going on? It's been a while. Good to see you. What's a Glock? Yeah, that's a good question. What is a Glock? I have a video coming out on a Glock here pretty soon. It is like a really awesome Glock I got to tell you guys about. First time watching. What's going on, guys? Hey, James, what's going on? Thanks for letting us know that this is your first time. Really do appreciate it. Hopefully you'll have a good time watching and having a good time with us and all that jazz. So look at that. We've got dozens of people watching. The South Pole could really be right side up. That's a good point, Art, because it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. It's all a simulation. So there you go. I've had a long day. I've had a really long day. And I'm glad that we're jumping into this live chat, because not only do I get a chance to talk to someone pretty awesome, talk to someone that is kind of outside of the normal area of what we normally talk about, get some perspective. Yeah, there you go, Shock Shooter. And but it also means that once I'm done with this, I can go to bed. So Hachi Ruku Performance Group, what's going on, man? Good to see you. So first and foremost, I want to say congratulations to one of our big supporters of the channel, Todd. He's usually in the chat room. He's definitely not in it tonight. Usually doing homework while he's watching in the chat room, but he's not going to be tonight because yesterday his beautiful wife gave birth to a beautiful, healthy young boy. So congratulations to you, Todd and Mrs. Todd, and welcome to the world, TR. So that's awesome. So we got that going on. And then today, I got to spend $300 on fixing a light bulb on my truck. So that's awesome too. $350 to make sure my headlight works. Way to go, Mopar. All right, let's jump into this. Pyrokinesis, man. What's going on? I missed you there. I didn't see you. All right, Pyro jumping in. I know you were in there earlier. I forgot to say hi. All right, here we go. Let's get started. Here we go. We've got shooting stuff, Australia. Boom, right here. How you doing, bud?
Good, mate. Good. Thank you for having us again.
Yeah. I should say good morning to you. Is that correct?
Yeah. Lunchtime.
All right.
Yeah. Been having lockdown drinks.
Yep. I've got my beer and I got my Crown Royal right here, so I think we'll be good.
I'm down to my last bottle of Jack Daniels I got from a cruise ship. So bring on another South Pacific cruise for me.
Right. Nice. Nice.
Need
I
to
mean,
stock up.
technically, you're on a South Pacific cruise every day, right? I mean, being on the
Pretty much,
island.
yeah. But the Gold Coast is about an hour and a half away from me,
Mm.
so to the water.
Oh yeah.
But yep, I'm out on the sticks.
Right on.
Yeah.
So, what has been going on down in Australia? Did you guys? How's the COVID thing going on and all that jazz? Run us down from the last time that we talked to now. What has happened?
Well, in the gun industry, what they did was they shut down Western Australia, which is 5 hours flight away from us. They shut them down, all gun shops overnight, no warning, bang. The guys were opening their shops up in the morning and got a message from weapons licensing and the police, and they said, you can't open. That's the end of it. The health department has taken over everything and said, and they're all anti-gun. You cannot open your shops due to this COVID-19. So they went down first, started to lose business. They just had to tell the staff, go home, nothing we can do. And then they finally decided to follow suit into other states, including mine, Victoria and Queensland. Same thing, no warning, close up. That's the end of business for you till further notice. Then the lead, I'm sorry if I do get a couple of fine details wrong, but the head of the health organisation here, or health department in our state, compared shooters to wife beaters, domestic violence. They said there's no reason for you to have guns at this time, because over here you need a reason to own a gun. Self-defense is not a reason. You got to belong to a club, as we talked about last time, and all the clubs are closed. So you can't go shooting at a range or do your pistol shoots, because we can't shoot pistols on private land. You got to go to a club. So they said there's no reason for you to have guns. So shut down. You can't buy ammunition. You can't buy guns. You can't buy anything. There was total ban to start off with. And they said shooters are more than likely to start killing their wives with guns. And so basically telling we're murderers in waiting. And that was their excuse. They literally came out and said stuff like that. And then after a few days, they said, right, if you're a farmer, you can, or a vet, you can carry on as normal, but you got to prove it, sort of thing. And on our gun licenses, we have all these codes, like recreational shooter, club shooter only. So I'm lucky I got a recreational shooter, and I shoot on and hunt on private land. So but I don't own it. So they said, if you got that and a letter, so you got these codes on your license and you got a letter, you can go into the shops and you can buy your ammunition and buy guns and that sort of thing. So that was basically just a very small majority of people could actually do that. And then, so that lasted for about 4 or 5 weeks. 4 weeks. It's basically just after we talked last time. And only then 2 weeks ago, they let Victoria and Western Australia start up. And after this weekend, they opened Queensland up to open as normal. And it's hurt a lot of people. 22 in Queensland, where I live, 22,000 people out of work, just like that, gone.
Yep.
Job's gone. Because our head of the health here is notorious for being anti-gun. And she just said, no, got to close them.
Yeah. And it's interesting that you bring up the domestic violence issue. We've had a couple sheriffs over here make accusations that if you're going out to buy a gun, if you're panic buying to get a gun, those people are more than likely going to end up hurting someone in their family because they've never been around it and stuff like. So they've automatically said that if you've never owned a gun before and you go out and get one now, you're just a kid and you're probably going to end up killing someone, in your own family, and I think that's pretty sickening to think that, people in government positions think that we're all kids, I mean, they kind of treat us like kids, so it's ridiculous. Dr. Catmilk, he had a question. He says, how does all of this affect 3D printing for Australia? Do you have any do you have anything going on with that?
What do you think? Of course. It's Australia. No, can't 3D print. Sorry, I do have a bit of a cough. I got a chest infection. I don't have the plague.
Okay.
I don't know anyone in Australia that's caught this Asian plague. But I just got a chest infection. I get it every year for my bad lungs. But no, 3D printing, not on your life.
Mm,
And that goes straight to jail stuff over here. If
mm.
you even think about it, they're going to put you in jail.
Oh, really?
But
Wow.
yeah, no, just as I said before, just imagine just think, is it fun? And if the answer is yes, it's banned in Australia.
Mm, yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
We have no rights here. We have absolutely no rights. And this has proved it. And I think these gun shop closures in Australia is a test.
Mm,
Like now they've seen how easy and how little resistance as a test to how far can we push this for next time. And it
yeah.
worked overnight.
Oh, yeah.
And what really pissed me off about the whole thing, we have our piss poor shooting organisations. Some of them did nothing. One in Victoria, they did do something and took them to court. And the day after they went to court, they opened Victoria up. But the ones who did nothing, and one even said, "Oh, we're not doing legal action," so they donated to a small amount of money to the one that did, just to take the heat off them. Everyone reckons, and they all claiming that they did something.
Mm.
I said, "Look at what we did. Look
Mhm.
what we did. Just trying to grab a little bit more of membership money."
Mhm.
So, and I know for a fact, writing a letter to your politicians does nothing. It does absolutely nothing. They don't see it,
Yeah.
especially over here. I know a lawyer who used to write legislation for the government here in Queensland. And he said they don't see your letters. They don't know about them. They
Mm.
got better things to do with their time. Their days are planned months ahead. They don't
Yeah.
have
Oh,
time
yeah.
to. They don't see all your letters.
Mhm. Yeah. I would imagine there are some politicians here that do. Maybe they come from a very small, small district or whatever. But when you get into some of these individuals who are in large metropolis, I'm sure they don't pay attention to that either. Art, he has a great question. What is the silliest thing that either Kansas or Australia has determined essential when firearms aren't? So what would you say is the silliest thing they say, okay, you guys can stay open, but
Yeah.
we got to close down gun shops?
Okay. Hairdressers.
Mm,
Hairdressers can open. They've been open. Okay, here's the thing. Bottle shops, our liquor stores can all stay open. So
Yep.
they're saying gun owners are going to be more likely to kill their wives and children, girlfriends, whatever.
mhm.
But alcohol is the number one cause of domestic violence, and they allow alcohol to stay open, alcohol shops to stay open.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the craziest thing, the alcohol shops.
Yeah.
Even though I like a drink.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
No. So we're going to kill everyone because we're gun owners. But the number one cause of domestic violence, their reason for domestic violence, they can stay open and
Mhm.
supply the wife beaters with their alcohol.
Yeah. Yeah. So I here, none of the gun shops closed, but one thing that I will say is that the silliness that I have seen is that Walmart can stay open. All of the larger grocery stores are open, so you've got tons of people milling about, walking around, bumping into each other. But a restaurant can't be open until just this past weekend. They opened them up to limited seating, and one of my favorite places to go eat, they closed their kitchen at 8:30 because the law says that they have to be closed by 10. And I told the dude when I walked in, I showed up like 8:40. And I said, hey, I just wanted to see if I could grab a table real quick. And he's like, oh, no, we're closed. And he told me why. And I was like, he says, yeah, the law says we have to close by 10. I was like, well, it's not a law. And he goes, well, I mean, they tell us that we have to be closed by 10. And I was like, okay, well, it's not a law. And he's like, well, you can take that up with the county. And I'm like, yeah, I'll take that up with the county. But it seems stupid to me that they have to close by 10 o'clock because I guess all the infected people come out after 10.
Yeah.
And they probably end up going straight to Walmart that's open 24 hours. So.
Well, we had the same problem here. Well, on my lockdown, because I'm self-employed and I've got no work because the building trade's almost shut down. No one's spending money. And Oh, so I've been renovating my house. I've built a big desk, and I've ripped my house apart and painting and tiling. So I've been going down to your version of Home Depot, which is Bunnings here. From day one, they've been open, wall to wall of people, no social distancing, packed in, absolutely packed.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just, but they're making a fortune, an absolute fortune.
Yeah, and it was interesting was I was out walking about in a little part of town here called Aggieville, and that's kind of where all the bars are in town. And I just happened to be walking down an alley to get back to my truck, and I looked over, and one of the like patio areas for one of these bars is opened up. And this was right after Kansas eased restrictions and started going into our phased opening. But there was these big picnic tables, and there's like 10 or 12 people huddled together in this picnic table. And I'm like, what? Did we just lose our mind and we're not doing that anymore? That's fine. I mean, so.
Yeah, well, it gets even better over here. All pubs and bars shut. End of story. Gone. So probably, I'm not shitting you, probably 100,000 jobs gone overnight.
Oh, yeah.
So the bottle shops can stay open, but your pubs can't. Then they allowed food to open as long as it's takeaway only.
Yeah.
We phone up, order it, and take away. That's about it.
Yeah, we all did that as well. We had all the
McDonald's and that are all open, but only drive-throughs.
Yeah, drive-through and takeaway, and that's cool because I could still go to some of my favorite places. But the downside is, by the time you get it home, it's not the same. It's just doesn't taste as good and stuff like that. So,
mate, you guys over there eat out all the time, and it's amazing. Yeah. But over here, you don't. It's cost so much money, dude. It's like a Big Mac meal is like $12, $13.
Oh wow!
Eating out food here at restaurants is just expensive, really, really expensive because our wages are so high. Up here, our wages are high and everything's high over here.
Yeah,
like our diesel was meant to drop, but our diesel per litre we're still paying $1.14, and it's meant to drop. It's meant to drop way below the dollar. It's meant to be cheaper than petrol, but petrol is way cheaper than diesel because diesel's cheaper to produce than petrol. It's a byproduct. That's a whole different story.
So, Shocker Shooter, he's got a funny question for you. Have you ever heard of the term Florida man?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So does Australia? Okay.
We have them as well. Yeah. Yarrabilba people. What else? Yeah. Limbin. Yeah. We have. Yeah. Basically everywhere apart from where I live.
Okay.
Yeah, we have those Florida people too. Yeah.
So Mario jumping in there. Good to see you. But go ahead. You were saying Ipswich.
Yeah, Ipswich. There's some interesting characters. Lots of places like Florida. Florida man is they're everywhere around here.
Yeah,
but they're more sort of rednecks, and I love rednecks. I'm not a city person.
Yeah. I'm starting to get more and more country myself. I'm getting tired. I'm getting tired of being around people. Art did talk about. There was an interesting post on social media. Art's talking about it. He's talking. The post was about shopping carts.
Yeah.
And did you see that post? I thought it was actually pretty interesting.
No.
So basically what this post is, it's fairly lengthy. It's about a paragraph or 2 paragraphs long. And it's talking about the type of person, and I think, Art, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's talking about the type of person and what they do with their shopping cart. Because there's no reward or restriction, or I should say restriction, but there's no reward or punishment for you not putting your shopping cart away versus putting your shopping cart away, right? So, and it goes through this whole thing and talking about that, and I thought it was actually pretty interesting.
We can dump them anywhere.
Yeah, I mean that's what people do here, but they
Yeah.
have these little areas that you can push carts into, and the people who do
Yeah, we got that.
the people who end up doing that are the individuals that are obviously more respectful, who are self-starters, and he starts listing all these different traits that those types of people do it because they realize that there's no reward in doing it. They just know it's the right thing to do,
Yeah.
So anyway.
I always put mine away. I always park near the bay to put your trolley. So sooner I can get back in the car and get home, the beer doesn't get warm.
So real quick, Todd has jumped in there. He says, I put the shopping carts back, but he does it backwards. And again, congratulations to you, Todd, and for TR. Obviously, give the missus a hug and kiss for us, and tell her congratulations.
Congratulations.
Good luck to you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
One thing I did just say about the stimulus. Someone asked about the stimulus there.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, we have a huge stimulus package here.
Oh,
okay,
really?
I actually wrote a few notes about this one. One of the first times in my life I'm actually prepared. Okay, so being a self-employed tradesman, I'm meant to be able to get $750 a week. I've paid taxes all my life. I'm self-employed. Now I've got absolutely no work. It's not, well, we call it the dole, but it's not the dole. It's a grant, a tax-free grant for small business.
Mm-hmm.
Can't get a single cent. So I've coming up on 3 months. I haven't had a paycheck yet. And so we're meant to be getting that, and they reckon it's going to be up to 30 years before Australia pays off this coronavirus debt.
Oh, yeah.
And so they've meant to, like, the amount of people going on the unemployment benefit, or we call it dole, the dole bludgers here, and they are going is phenomenal because all these poor people are losing their jobs left, right, and centre. So it's absolutely, they getting, but you know what's so stupid? The career dole bludgers, people on the unemployment benefit who don't ever want to work, who sit at home, drink, take drugs, do whatever they do, they have been given a pay rise to about $800 a week for sitting at home. And they were that's gone up $500 from what they normally get. And here I am, paid all my taxes and can't get a single cent out of the government. I pay a fortune in tax. I've got absolutely no work, and running out of money, and yeah, it's just mind blowing. So if you're an employer, right, and you have staff, you can get $700 a week for each employee. This is half the problem. The gun shops in the metro areas are suffering because the gun owners need to go to gun ranges to shoot, especially in the metro areas. And because these gun ranges don't really make much money, now everyone's an employee who works there. So I reckon they're scamming the system by saying, oh, no, they're all employees, but most of it's voluntary sort of stuff. There's hardly any checks and balances. So they're getting $750 a week. So why are they going to open their gun range?
Yeah.
When they're getting all this money in?
I got a special guest jumping in here real quick. She wants to say hi to everybody. So she's saying hi. We're hanging out tonight, right?
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So he's from Australia.
Cool.
And he just said good day.
Hi.
So how are you?
Is there anything wise and empowering that you want to say to the world?
No.
No? Okay. There we go. She's a chip off of the old block, I can tell you. All right. So it's interesting because I just talked to someone today about the stimulus check. I've had my stimulus check for over a month. Well, I don't have it anymore because it's all spent in that one right there. But
did you buy a headlight or a gun?
No, I bought a gun. I totally bought a gun. It was spent before I even got it. But I talked to someone today, a month later, they still don't have their stimulus check. And the Democrats are actually trying to push through another stimulus bill to, send out more money to people. And what bothers me is, you were talking about, the grants and everything. And here, what people are really, well, at least the media, what they're really trying to do is conflate the stimulus check with unemployment benefits, right? Stimulus check is not meant to do anything but to stimulate the economy, get some extra money in people's pockets so they can get out or not necessarily get out, but they can kind of buy stuff and get the economy going a little bit better than what it had been. And then for those people who are out of work, they're supposed to apply for unemployment benefits. And the media is going out and it's like, well, how are you supposed to, they'll interview people and they're like, how can you live on $1,200? And the response is, well, we can't live on $1,200. Well, duh. Yeah. You're not supposed to live off of $1,200. You're supposed to live off unemployment. And oh, by the way, they raised unemployment slightly here in the United States to kind of compensate. And then you're supposed to spend the money that you get from the stimulus check. So that's one of the things that really irritates me right now is how they're conflating the two, and they're saying, well, freaking Trump doesn't care about the common worker and blah, 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 because he's only given $1,200 when all these other countries are giving gobs of money to their people. But what they don't say is all those other countries, they're referring to their unemployment benefits, not their stimulus stuff, right?
Exactly.
So it's just I could talk about this for like half an hour or more, because it really bothers me. So,
yep. Well, check this one out. So everyone on the dole, the unemployment benefit, sitting at home doing drugs, drinking piss, doing whatever they want, and not looking for jobs because the whole thing's an absolute scam over here. I know because I used to renovate their offices, and I've seen it all. And stories I could tell. I could talk for a couple of hours on what I've seen in these offices while I've been renovating them. And they gave them all $750 for doing nothing, for sitting on the couch. People like me can't get it. It's just absolute bullshit. It's just does my whole head in. It really does. So I've been paying tax all my life and trying to run a small business, and I get nothing. And these bastards sitting on the couch, Korea dole bludgers, get another $750 on top of raising their money. Oh, it's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
It really is. I mean, I'm happy with my stimulus check because, like I said, I basically used my returned tax money to buy something that the government hates anyway. So that was my big kind of middle finger to the government.
Can you say what gun you brought?
Yeah, that one right there. It's it's a Tommy built. I can't pick it up, but it's a Tommy built G36C clone. So it's a H&K or HK G36. So,
you know, when I come over, you're going to cost me a fortune in ammo.
I'll let you fire a couple hundred rounds out of it. It'd be all right. So,
well, that's the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, I know, right? Because I blew through 500 rounds this last weekend just on that right there, and then like maybe 60 rounds through an AR. But most of all of it was through the G36. So, oh yeah, well, so fun.
Well, before all this crap happened, I actually saved up enough money to come over for a month to the US and make some videos with guys like you and just hang out and have a good time. And now that's gone. All gone. Yeah, but rebuild and start again. That's what you do.
Yeah. That's I'm in the rebuilding phase right now. So.
yeah, I've been where you have been. So yeah, it can only get better. Trust me. Well, we were just talking about it. Honest Outlaw Reviews.
Yeah. What's going on, man? Freaking! If you guys don't know, Honest Outlaw, I did a video, so most of the people here in the chat room should know. But if you don't, Honest Outlaw had his channel deleted. I'm putting it in quotes, right? because someone hacked his channel, posted some videos, it got flagged, and then his channel was pulled down. So you said that you got a chance to talk to him.
Yeah, yeah.
What update do you have?
Well, I talked to him a couple of days ago, and he, well, from the beginning, everyone knows that my channel got deleted as well, but I got hacked like he did. But my hackers just changed my settings and deleted my channel, so it looked like that I deleted it. What they did, to honest, was they posted some controversial videos and they didn't like those videos, so they deleted them. So deleted his whole channel. So he got like a serious strike where I didn't get a serious strike. And what difference was mine is I had a second channel sitting there not being used, so I could just basically just start broadcasting on that channel because I didn't get a serious strike. It wasn't like they shut me down. They believed that I shut myself down. They had no interest in helping me. No interest, but obviously they're helping him. And the last I heard that he's in conversation with YouTube, and it does look hopeful he's going to get it back. They're just checking everything out, trying to line up the stories, sort of thing, and he's going to get it back. I really, really feel for the guy. I know how stressful it is.
Yeah,
and like I only had 12,000 subscribers. I think he had like 300,000.
Yeah, he was getting pretty up there. Yeah.
Yeah, that would devastate me more. I had 12,000. I can't get anyone back. I've been sitting on 4,000 for ages. It's just my channel's basically dead in the water. But you got to think positive in life. You always get kicked down in life. You just got to pick yourself up and carry on. You can't dwell on it all. I'm doing this for fun. I know I'm not going to do an income out of this. I'm doing this because I enjoy it. And the day I don't enjoy it, I'll just walk away.
Yeah, and that's with Honest Outlaw, he kind of does do this for his, I don't want to say necessarily main source of income, but he does. He has a couple other jobs that he does, but by and large, he's self-employed, and YouTube is a big portion of that. So to see him kind of get, I guess it was more of a speed bump for him than anything. Now I can tell you, last Thursday, YouTube had some type of hiccup where they just shut down for about, I don't know, 30 minutes or so. And it just so happened that I was bringing up my YouTube comment section to go through it and to, reply to comments or whatever. And it said that there was no data on my YouTube channel. And I'm like, whoa, what's going on? So I ran to my computer and brought it up. All of my videos had been pulled down. And I'm like, what is happening? I was panicking. I thought the same thing happened to me. Yep. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then all of a sudden, just out of the blue, I was at the computer trying to figure out what's going on and understand why it's pulled down, why I can't bring them back up. And then all of a sudden, boom, everything's back up again. I'm like,
yeah.
I was really worried about that.
I've had a couple of hiccups like that where YouTube have come out with some warning, like a 404 sort of a warning, sort of something on those lines. And a couple of times now, it's always like, oh, Jesus, here we go. Because I had my Facebook page shut down, as we talked about before. And, now the channel went down. And, it's a real kick in the nuts because you spend all these years and all this money. I spent $30,000 on my channel and I make $200 a month out of it.
Yeah.
That's it, out of Patreon. No one signs up to Patreon. Everyone wants it for free. I understand. Like I told all my followers, don't sign up to my Patreon right now because I know when times are really kicking off really bad. I said, no, everyone's got no money. Don't sign up. Just subscribe to my channel. It means more to me right now. And when times get better and everyone gets back into work, you can subscribe up to Patreon. Hopefully, I hope.
Yeah.
Because it's getting pretty expensive over here for me to make these videos now. The actual gun reviews in the field, it takes a lot of time, 2 days by the time I film and edit it, and over $1,000 of materials and labor and time.
So that's a good question. When you go out to the range to do some type of review, how much time do you actually end up spending out at the range?
Okay, so I got 500 acres just down the road from me, a friend's property. So I go there. I'll get there early in the morning. before it gets too hot, because it gets extremely hot here. And so I'll film to about lunchtime, and then during the afternoon I'll might try and make a couple of little videos, short ones in the afternoon. So a day filming, and then for a gun, this is for a full gun review that lasts about 10 minutes. That's an entire day of editing. So basically 2 days of my life gone. It's a whole weekend gone.
Oh yeah,
just like that, of doing that. And I don't want to sound like I'm whinging or anything, but I don't make any money out of it. And it's getting to the point now I'm about to turn 50, well, in 2 years' time, year and a half's time. And I'm not going to let this control my life anymore. I spent 4 or 5 years doing this, and it all went overnight because some prick hacked my Google account. And I don't make any money out of it. All I get is trolled by pricks, and I got no problem. I get no problem. I'd say I love trolls. Absolutely love them, because I just name and shame them. And one guy had to shut his Facebook account down because I exposed him. And and I've got like heads of presidents of shooting organisations on there abusing me everywhere. And he's had to take messages down off his own page because I just posted it, and everyone got on his Facebook page and got up him. So I got a lot of loyal followers as well, which is good.
That's good.
But I don't mind the trolls. It's a bit of entertainment for me.
Yeah. So I head out to the range this last Sunday. Well, yeah, I guess it was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. My gosh, seems like it was a few days ago, man. But yeah, I ended up spending a little over 4 hours at the range. And in that 4 hours, I had to cram as much as I possibly could. I was able to get B-roll for 4 different videos that I'm going to be doing, but it was nonstop. I had to just go, and it was okay, working on a pistol. Okay, put that down. Okay, now I got to work on the G36. Okay, put that down. Then I got to work on the. I'm going to be talking about my suppressor. You guys know that I have the Dead Air Sandman S, so
nice.
I want to do a quick couple of shots of me running that, and then I had let's see, what was the other one? A Palmetto State Armory rifle I wanted to do something on. So I was only able to spend about an hour on each one, and then I'll come back and I'll do all of the A-roll stuff here over the next couple of weeks. But I mean, it's tough. It's a lot of time that a lot of people don't understand how much time is actually put into it. Not that I'm complaining, because I do it because this is fun to me. But at the same time, it's it is fun, but it's work at the same time,
Yeah, definitely. And people bitch about we ask for Patreon money. Well, it's free to watch, but it's not free to make. It costs me a lot of time, a lot of money. Most of my social life gone through this. If you don't like it, that's fine. Go piss off and go watch something else. I don't give a shit if you don't like it. Just don't watch it. It's that simple. And even $5 a month goes a long way for me.
Oh yeah,
because ammo's so expensive here, really, really expensive. And I've got to buy all this ammo. I got a couple of importers that supply some guns to me to use, but I've got to give them back. I don't get lots of free stuff, anything like that. But I did this for fun and to shoot lots of guns. And I've shot $20,000 Rigbys. I've shot custom-made straight pull AR-15s, that prototype, stuff like that I'll never be able to shoot. I shot a M40A1, a sniper rifle, US Marine sniper rifle. Got to shoot all that sort of stuff. I'll never, ever be able to do that sort of stuff before. So that's the way I saw it.
Yeah, exactly. Patreon's great. I love all the Patreons. I've had a couple new people jump on board, and I really do appreciate all of them. And a lot of people really don't understand how far $1 a month goes. It goes a lot further than you would think it does. Okay, $1, big deal. But dollar, that little dollar, I've got a little sweet spot here that I can pick up a box of 50 rounds of 9mm for for basically $10, $9.99.
Jesus.
Right. So
try 25 here.
Oh yeah, and I was seeing in the chat room they're talking somewhere around $15 in some of the places that these other guys are at, and so I was able to pick up. I ended up buying over the course of about 2 weeks. I think I ended up with 3,000 rounds, and that's you can do the math on it. It's 3,000 rounds. That's how many boxes is that? I can't even do the math right now. That's 20. That's 60 boxes, right? And it's $10 a piece, right? So that's $600 plus tax, and all of that money had come from Patreon crew and through monetization through YouTube and stuff like that. I saved my money, and then that comes around. So it does go and support all of that. So
exactly.
I know that we've talked about this before, but I did want to get to one of the questions here. What are the laws regarding concealed carry in Australia? I think we talked about that last time, but go ahead and jump into that again.
It's a freedom, so we don't have it.
Short and sweet.
Not in a million years. Not in a million. So we got to have a reason to own a firearm here. Self-defense is not a reason. We can't have suppressors, and they've already said, the police have said, write as many letters as you want. It ain't going to happen. Waste all your time, petitions, letters. It ain't going to happen. You're not getting suppressors. Jesus, you use a firearm in a self-defense thing here, you're going to jail. We're one of the only countries where a victim becomes a criminal. So it's no, not a hope in hell, and I don't think it will ever change. Change. I think I said about the story about the farmer who had that drug addict banked on his door. He came with an unloaded 22 and scared him and did like a citizen's arrest. Took him down to the police station. Said this guy was trying to rob me with a knife, and here he is. The farmer got arrested for firearms charges. For an unloaded firearm because he put him in his own car at gunpoint with no ammunition. That's how crazy it is. So no, concealed carry is just a pipe dream here. It's never going to change.
Sure.
It's never going to happen. No, we're not going to get our semi-autos back. We're not going to get anything back here. I hate to say it because I'm a big advocate for all that, and I'm a staunch advocate for self-defense. Actually, I've just edited a self-defense video we just had. It's coming out on Sunday. So if anyone wants to watch it, we talk about the 60-year-old guy over here in Australia that was two thugs broke into his house, bit the living fuck out of his wife. These are elderly guys, been married 60 years, elderly couple. And of course, the elderly husband tried to jump in. They killed him.
Oh, wow.
And that's what it's like. Can't have anything to defend himself. And you know what's worse? The cops here are pretty bad. They keep going on, it's disgusting that this happens. Well, don't tell us it's disgusting. Do something about it. The rant we go on this video is going to be extremely controversial, and it's going to get a lot of people's hair up on their back. They're not going to be happy, but fuck it. It's got to be said. So if you want to see something controversial on about Australian laws, it's coming on Sunday.
Okay.
And
we'll definitely...
we basically talk about should police have guns in Australia? No, they shouldn't.
Right? If no one else can, why not? Why should they?
Exactly. Well, I've got to do all these contests. I've been shooting for 30-odd years, and I've got to do all these contests every year. I go to a pistol range several times a week. They go once a year and shoot a handful of rounds. So I'm more competent to save people's lives than they are.
So I'll let a little bit of a cat out of the bag because I don't think that everybody's going to see this part of the live chat. But one of the videos that I'm going to have coming up here, probably later on this week, is I ended up buying a Glock 17 Gen 3 police turn-in. Or police trade-in, right? And I thought, hey, great, this is a great idea. I buy a Glock 17 and I can get it kind of on the cheap. And when I got it, I'm just like, That was a mistake.
Yeah.
Now, for as far as the aesthetics of the pistol and the inner workings of the pistol, I mean, realistically, it's a used gun, but it is in pretty good shape for being a quote unquote duty pistol. Now, the interesting thing is that when I had it shipped to my FFL, Jim from Flying Monkey Gunworks, he is a certified Glock armorer, so he's able to pull stuff apart and look at things and know kind of get a good estimation of how many rounds have been through it. And he's like, it's been maybe 200 rounds through this, and this is a Glock 17 that has noticeable wear to it enough for my eye anyway to tell that this thing has been around for 10 plus years. This pistol has been around for a long time. So for it to be around for such a long time and then only have a couple hundred rounds through it, I put more rounds through it probably yesterday than it probably saw in its entire life. So
don't mind me asking, how would you pay for it secondhand?
So I bought it from AIM Surplus, and they had a sale on those for $3.99.
Jesus.
So, but the problem is, and this is kind of the issue that I have with it is aesthetically, it looks great. Internally, functions great. I did have a couple failure to feeds and one stovepipe when I was out yesterday, but realistically, that's kind of it's still within the Glock break-in period. So, okay, not that big of a deal. But it had an NY1 return trigger spring. So that ends up creating a trigger pull of about 8 pounds, right? It increases the weight on the trigger. So it's a lot heavier, right? And a lot of police departments do that to allow additional time for their police officers to kind of think through what they're getting ready to do before they use their booger hook on the bang switch. Yeah. And so I had to have that replaced. So if I didn't have connections like I did, I was just a regular Joe Schmo, there's extra money to change that out. The sights, it came with Trijicon night sights, which is great. I was like, yay, night sights. I don't have to switch them out. But guess what? The tritium's dead in them. So the front sight is not even lit up in a dark room. So I got to switch those out. So there's two things. And then it only came with one magazine. And so I have Glock 17 mags already, but if I was a new pistol owner, by the time I fixed this trigger spring, I replaced the night sights and then add a couple more magazines, I just bought a brand new Glock. Why do a police trade-in at that point? So I don't know.
But I'm listening to this, and if you're in Australia, you scored a gold mine. We're talking $800 for a second-hand Glock, $1,200 for a new one. We call them Glock 17As, so they're just slightly longer because our semi-automatic pistol's got to have 5-inch barrel minimum, and it just sticks out slightly.
Yeah,
and revolver's got to be 4-inch minimum. A magazine here in Australia, a Glock mag, 10 rounds only, because it's going to have up to 10 rounds, which they've actually stopped importing. You can own 10-round magazines in Australia, but they can't import them anymore. So we've got 9 rounds. They come in at about $60 a mag. So yeah, you got to. If you're in Australia, you hit the jackpot.
Let's see. Blitz is jumping in here. What's your favorite? He wants you to say shrimp on the Barbie, but what's your favorite food on the Barbie?
Probably a snag. Sausage.
Sausage. Okay. I was going to say. Okay. I had sausage tonight, so I had some bratwurst tonight for dinner. But right on.
Just a snag on the Barbie. We don't call it shrimp. We call it prawns. That's all. That whole thing, shrimp on the Barbie with Paul Hogan, was a fabrication thing for an advert. We call them prawns. and I don't really like prawns that much because most prawns here are from Vietnam and they're just grown in sewer water.
Oh
So
yeah.
so I don't eat. I'm not a big seafood person,
Mm-hmm.
really. I like calamari, but that's about it. I'm not much of an eater. I just Jack Daniels and potato chips does me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Simple man, simple
Yeah.
life.
Yeah. Same here. I mean, when I go to the grocery store, I end up buying pretty much the same things every single time.
Yeah.
Some chicken breasts, some bratwurst, some type of steak, and some ground beef, and try to get it as lean as possible. So like 98.2 ground
Yeah.
beef, and then shocker shooter. Yeah, that's true. Hashtag liquid diet. So
Well, as you know, us Aussies love our booze. And I've got even worse. I got Scottish, English, Kiwi, and Australian in me, and we're all pissheads.
mm-hmm.
So yeah, my liver does it tough. Yeah, that's for sure. But
Right on.
yeah, yeah, Paul Hogan is still a national hero here because he has fought our tax department here and absolutely reams them.
Oh,
You'll
really?
see a few things online. Oh yeah, the tax department here came after him big time, and that's why he lives in the US. He won't even come back to Australia. Yeah, I love Paul Hogan.
I can understand. I can understand
Yeah.
that.
We pay a phenomenal amount of tax here. In fact, we basically get fucked everywhere we look over here in Australia.
Well, I mean, are you guys like pretty much on the brink of socialism at this point?
Oh, I think so. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The government hates me. I've been through Parliament with my show. A historic vote actually went through Parliament. They wanted to take my firearms license off me. The most historic failure in history in the Australian Parliament voting system was they wanted to take my firearms license off me for making gun reviews. They
Really?
basically said I was a disgusting pig because I blew teddy bears up and stuff. And that was 14 against me and 41 for me. And they even mentioned me in Parliament.
Really?
And, in federal Parliament, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Brought a tear to my eye.
Yeah, that's pretty
That's
cool.
that's my claim to fame.
you put it on your tombstone, you know,
Yeah.
41 to 14.
Yeah. Go fuck yourself, John Howard. who took our guns off us? But, yes, it's yeah, yeah. So it's yeah, just the whole thing over here is pretty bad. Socialism. We got a big communist party here, like an actual socialism, communist Australian communism party.
Mm-hmm.
It's they're all over the internet. You got to laugh at them. They're a bunch of like university students just circle jerking themselves. That's basically it. But yes, it's pretty much on the blink. We don't have many rights here. Not like you. We don't have a Bill of Rights. We have a Bill of Don'ts, which is everything.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have much freedoms here. Just shut your mouth, do what you're told, and that's basically it. And that doesn't sit too well with most people, I think, in Australia.
Yeah. Art's asking, does Australia are they proud of the fact that they used to be a prison colony? I mean, is that in your guys' mentality at all?
No, it never really comes up at all. But the Australians that moved here were the prison colony. They were people that stole a loaf of bread to feed their families.
Mm.
They're not like murderers. They were people who tried to. They shot a deer in the king's forest.
One of the king's deer, yeah,
yeah, or stole loaves of bread. That was minor things like that. It wasn't murder or like medieval terrorism sort of stuff. It was stuff to like help their families out. That's basically the guys that came here. It wasn't like real bad people. It was like children were sent here for taking a loaf of bread, for feeding their siblings and their sick parents. Now that's the sort of people that came here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we sort of do. Yeah, it's actually deemed as a racist here if you carry the Australian flag. So I've got I got racist. I got my flags all over all over the house because I'm not going to be called a racist because I want to have the Australian flag up. I actually had the Australian flag on my front fence and someone stole it.
Really?
And I found it thrown in the bushes down the road of my house.
So why? I guess I don't understand. Why would you be considered a racist or anything like that because you're flying your country's flag?
Yeah, exactly. It's just the whole. You got it over there as well. Just the whole young people mentality.
Sure.
Brainwashed. I don't know. I've gotten out of the politics sort of side of stuff. The older you get, you just don't care anymore. It's just leave me alone. I just want to shoot my guns, have some fun. I've got probably 30 years left on this planet. I just want to enjoy myself.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of how I'm getting to as well. I'm at that point now that I'm just like, stay off my lawn. I don't care what you guys do. Just leave me alone. Let me do what I want to do. I won't mess with you. Don't mess with me. We'll all be happy. So
yeah.
But it's even getting difficult to do that. So
yeah, it definitely is over here. It's pretty bad over here. Australia's we got no freedoms. Well, when this whole COVID bullshit came in, they were bringing out the social distancing laws, $1,300 fines. A guy got nailed because a lot of people still had to go to work. They wouldn't, like over in New Zealand, just across the ditch, they had everyone was locked down. I mean, locked down. Everyone got paid 80% of their wage, and you don't leave your house unless it's for food or medical, basically. And but over here, a lot of people just kept going to work because they said if you have a job, you're an essential worker. So everyone can go back to work, basically.
Right.
And the cops just salivering at the mouths over here. Loved it. Fucking millions of dollars of fines in the first weekend. One guy got nailed. He was sitting in a park, I think it was down in Sydney, eating a kebab by himself at lunchtime. And they gave him a $1,300 fine.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting you bring that up because someone pulled a prank on the cops in California. I don't know exactly where it was, but they set up a dummy on the beach and made it look. You seen that?
Yeah.
Now, what I thought was hilarious was the fact that 3 cops had to show up to go find out what's going on, and as you watch them walk up to the dummy, all 3 of them are like within a foot of each other. So they're not even practicing social distancing at that point, So I was like, what's the point,
We had a horrific, and I mean, you can find it online, horrific thing happening over here. A young lady with her child, she had a sign around. Okay, I don't know the exact details. I think it was down in Sydney or Melbourne because they're the worst places on the planet. They're like the Baghdad of Australia. She had a sign basically protesting in lockdown sort of stuff. And had her child, would have been about 3-4 years old next to her. And the police, a massive mob of police came to arrest her. Peaceful, she's just standing there. She said, "No, you can't arrest me." And they tried to grab it, and they ripped her sons out of her hands, ripped him out, dragged the son out of away from her. He was screaming and crying, as you can imagine. And they tried to load her in a paddy wagon. She managed to escape and run down and grab her child, and she's running down the street with her young child, and the police were trying to tackle her and arrest her. She's doing a peaceful protest during this lockdown. It's all over the internet, dude. That's horrific. That is Nazi bullshit, if you ask me.
Oh, and we're seeing it here too. I mean, most of it's going to be in your larger cities like New York, and I think Philadelphia. But you see cops tackling people because they're not wearing a face mask or something like that. So as you guys can see, I'm missing something right behind me here. Over the weekend, I decided to sell my couch and upgrade and buy a new couch. Problem is, I didn't time it out right because I sold my couch before I bought the new couch, and the new couch doesn't come for like another 2 weeks, so I'm couchless. Oh well, but
get a camping chair and be like, yeah, camping.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I got, you know. So,
Yeah.
but for me to go into the store to shop for a couch, I had to put a face mask on. And I was like, I walked in, I was like, I don't have one. And they're like, oh, we have them for you. I'm like, okay. I just put it on. I needed a couch. So I was like, this is ridiculous.
How many people have touched that face mask?
Well, they were brand new and they were sealed, you know, so that is a good thing, you know. But the thing about it is all of the employees, they have their mask, but their mask is like halfway off their face because they've had it on all day and they're tired of it, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just like, you guys, this is maddening. Late this afternoon, I went to go and talk to a store about buying a new bike, and I'm getting into gravel off-road biking as try to help with my cardio because running's starting to become an issue for me. So
the joys of getting old.
Yeah, I know, right? So biking's a little lower impact, and I can get in some cases a better workout. But in order for me to shop for a bike, I had to stand outside the store. The guy would go inside, grab a bike, and bring it out, show it to me. I'm like, nah, I don't like this one. Okay, I'll go get another one. He goes in and gets another one, brings it out. And I was like, finally, I was just like, what's your recommendation? And he's like, for you, I would recommend this. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go do some research. No, I'm not. I'm going to go buy it offline. I wanted to support a local business, but it's so like maddening their precautions when they can open up fully. Walmart has been open the entire time. So how is it that I could walk through Walmart, you know, and I keep on bringing them up, but I can walk through Walmart and bump into people, but I can't go into a local bicycle shop. I'm like, come on, people, let's put our common sense on.
Well, here's the thing. Our Walmart is called Big W. They sell all the Chinese crap, and a couple of them had to shut down because they can't get stock. So and now there's a big thing in the news right now in Australia is that they're going to China is threatening Australia because Australia want answers about this flu and doing an investigation. They're going to say, well, we're going to shut Australia down. So all these big chain stores could just close down overnight because they can't get stock.
Yeah. Well, it was about, I think 3 weeks ago. Excuse me, 3 weeks ago. Let's see. Missouri was the first state to publicly sue the Chinese government because of the COVID stuff. So I thought that was interesting. I don't know how that's going to work out, but Missouri is just like, hey, who's with us? We're going to sue. We're going to sue China. It's like,
that'll be good. But like over here, Australia has sold out. They sold Darwin Port up at Northern Territory. It's a major port for the US military. They sold it to China. The US military found out in the local newspaper. They said, really? Stuff you. We're not coming here again. We can't risk it. Which I totally and utterly understand that. And the reason they sold that port was because it needed such big maintenance and the local council didn't want to spend the maintenance. And China said, yep, we'll buy it and we'll maintain it. 100-year lease to China. No, and one of your aircraft carriers come in and it's 5,000 people come in for a week. And it's that's what the economy runs off. Now they're going, we're not going to come here. Stuff you. But you know what's worse? They had to find out from the local newspaper.
That's really bad. You would think that I don't know, the ambassador to Australia might have been clued in on that one, you know, but obviously not. So,
dude, they love. I'm not racist at all, but they bend over backwards for the Chinese government and Chinese people over here.
Yeah,
absolutely bend over. What do you want? Okay, yeah, you want 500,000 Australians out of work? Not a problem. We'll do that, and we'll hire your people.
So 22 Cheapsters jumping in there. It's good to see you, man. Thanks for swinging by. The virus knows the difference between essential and non-essential stores. This is a communist virus. It has brains. It's pretty
I agree with them.
This is pretty funny.
And I love 22 Cheapster because he's on my site all the time.
Oh yeah.
He's awesome. Awesome.
He has some of the best memes out there. So anyway, all right. There is a lot of misinformation surrounding the virus. So there was a video called "The Doctors in Black." They had that on YouTube and on what's the other one? Vimeo, and they got pulled down because a lot of the information that was in that was information that couldn't be necessarily disputed, but at the same time was like, oh, this is whole conspiracy theories. And it was basically, I can never remember the name of the guy who's in charge of the CDC, but the guy who's on the news here in the United States all the time. I think, oh man. Anyway, basically he's the mastermind behind all of this. These doctors are coming out and saying, well, this one particular doctor is coming out and saying that he is intentionally pushing and suppressing certain drugs to promote other drugs that are more expensive to boost big pharma. And this is their opinion, not mine. And then from there, they went in and talked to all of these other doctors. They interviewed all these other doctors, and they're like, we're actually doing ourselves a disservice individually with our immune systems by social distancing, by wearing masks, by sanitizing our hands all the time, because our antibodies in our body, are trying to fight off bad bacteria every single day. And the moment that we put a mask on, the moment we start hand sanitizing every 30 seconds, you're now weakening your antibodies, which then makes you prone to get the disease. So I don't know. I don't know how much to believe or not believe, but at the same time, I was just like, okay, well, that's a thing out there.
I'm like you. You just don't know what to believe about all this.
Mm-hmm.
Wear a mask. Don't wear a mask. Well, I don't wear a mask because I'm not going to be told to wear a mask by anyone. But I don't really go out. I live where I live, and I don't have much human contact with people, and that's the way I like it.
Yeah.
And so you just don't know what to believe. You hear all these stories, online stories. Do this. Don't do that. Wear a mask. Don't wear a mask. You just don't know, do you?
No. You really don't. And I want to check one thing because I want to talk. You're talking about you don't wear a mask. I want to see here just real quick. So give me just a second. I want to look up the Kansas COVID cases. And this is going to be really interesting because as of...
I'll tell you mine as well.
Okay, so I'm just looking this up. As of May 17th, there's 13 additional cases. So that brings the total of... So there's 8,340 confirmed cases. 2,607 have recovered. There's 173 deaths within the state of Kansas. So what the news media is saying is what they'll do is they'll say, oh, there's been 8,300 cases of COVID in the state of Kansas. And they'll leave it at that. But they won't mention the almost 2,800 people who have either passed away or have recovered from it. And so, like, you run into situations here in, let's see, I'm gonna scroll down here, and they don't have us listed because the reason why they don't have us listed is because it is,
well, all I can find is Australia overall.
Okay, so here it is. Riley County is where I live. They had 61 confirmed cases and one death. Of those 62 cases they had one death. So we'll take the death away. That's 61 cases. Of those 61 cases of the people still living, 49 of those cases have recovered. So we have 11 cases within the entire county. And what a lot of people don't realize is that if you take the population of our county and divide that by 11, the percentage of that is so minute that it would be you would die of a car crash faster than you would getting infected by COVID-19. Just to get infected by it, not even to die from it. So
exactly. So in Australia, we've had 7,059 people infected, confirmed. So, and I don't know a single, or even heard of a single person from all my followers. Recovered 6,389, and we've had 99 deaths out of, I think it's 25,000 million in Australia. So, yeah. So let's ruin the economy, shut the country down, fuck everyone's livelihoods. I even heard they're going to start counting suicides contributed to COVID-19 because people are losing everything. That's a big thing. That's a big thing for me. Is all that bullshit with all that.
People losing their job, they don't know what else to do. And then the other thing too is that in that documentary I was talking about, Doctors in Black, they come out and say that in a lot of cases, if someone comes in with the symptoms of COVID-19, right? So you come in and you've got a cough. You got to, as Forrest Gump says, you got to cough to your cold.
Like my chest infection.
Yeah. What they'll do is they'll just put on there. They'll say, "Oh, it's probably COVID-19," and they end up getting something like $30,000 more from the insurance company just because their diagnosis has COVID-19 in it, regardless if they tested the person or not, or regardless if they did do a test, if it came back positive or not. Just because it says COVID-19, they automatically get bumped into a higher tier to charge the insurance company. So
anything for money, dude. Anything for money.
That's why if you follow the money, I honestly believe if you do a deep dive and follow the money behind this whole thing, you're going to end up finding a whole bunch of discrepancies going on. So,
or you'll catch COVID-19.
Oh yeah, here we go. There we go. Here's the peach. Here's the peach for you guys. Everybody loves the peach. All you guys out there, you know what I'm talking about. You love the peach. So,
Jesus, you could almost become an Aussie.
Almost. Well, I will say that a lot of American guys love the American women, or love the Aussie women, rather.
Oh, Jesus. So, I got some fantastic female followers from Australia. But Jesus, I'd much rather go for American woman. I've got to marry American woman so I can get over there and live there. I want my semi-autos. It's going to cost me a fortune to come over and see you every year for a couple of weeks. I just want to live there.
Well, just what are the kids using these days? The Tinder? just open a Tinder account, and just say that you live in Los Angeles or something, and then just like hook up with somebody that's in Tennessee. And
I just need your credit card number. Yes, no. I get this is the big thing over here, the anti-gunners. Okay, so you like guns? Why don't you piss off to live to America? And we said this before. Yeah, show me the way to do it. I'll be there tomorrow. I love Australia, even though I'm an Australian citizen, but I'm also a New Zealand citizen. Yeah, I'll always stand by Australia. A great country, great people. Oh, the gun community is great. Well, a majority of them are great. And but yeah, I would move to America. Boom, like that, dude. I'll come live in your basement tomorrow if I could legally. It's that simple. I would move there tomorrow.
Sure.
No
Listen, I mean, as it stands right now, I'm actually looking to buy a new house, and if I can bump up to the next little higher tier, and have a roommate at the same time, I can't. I'd have to charge you rent. All right. So, but if you pay a little bit of rent, I can get a nicer house, and maybe we can get a.
I'll tell you now. I'm pretty sure your rent is nothing compared to what we pay here. An average rent over here for a 3-bedroom shitbox is about $400 a week.
Yeah. It's so
that's nothing fancy. That's just a suburban cram you in 3-bedroom home, $400 to $500 a week.
So Chris Sewell wants to know if you do yard work, and if you do, they will adopt.
I own 2 acres over here, and yard work is my life.
So there you go, Chris. I need your people to get in touch with his people so you can start working out the adoption plan.
And I am not working for fucking $3 an hour like the Mexicans. Sorry to be racist, but it's not going to happen.
Well, honestly, they get paid a little bit better than that. So, I get you. I see where you're going with that.
Okay, people talking about. Sorry to interrupt. New Zealand gun laws. Let's talk about that, if that's okay.
Sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's just gone up above me, and
Chris. How is New Zealand gun laws? I think he's just in general. How have they changed basically since the what was the shooting that they had up there? I can't think of the name of the church.
Yes, not a church. It was a mosque.
What mosque? Yeah.
Okay, so that massacre, I interviewed. Yes, I interviewed. Mate Jason and me interviewed. Jesus, I can't remember his name. A very nice guy in a wheelchair. He runs the Kiwi Gun Blog. Now, I actually recommend everyone to get onto Facebook and follow the Kiwi Gun Blog. Now, he is outspoken, pro-gun. He's disabled and an extremely nice bloke. So we interviewed him just after the massacre happened, and they're talking about what they're going to start banning within weeks. They're going to talk about what they're going to ban. So New Zealand gun laws, they've left some pump actions in the system and some 22 semi-autos, and basically everything else apart from bolt actions, they're mimicking Australia. And from what I was told, and I don't want to be sued, so what I was told was that the Australian police went over there and helped them draw up the new laws to ban the guns, comparable to Australia. And it's an ongoing shit fight. So Mike Loader was his name. Very nice guy. And Jesus, the guy could talk. I'll actually upload that video again. It's over an hour long. It was meant to be 1 hour. I think it went for like 3 hours. And he was actually on a live stream thing to Parliament and the police because he couldn't leave his home being disabled. And they actually brought up his Facebook because recommendations. They wanted like a committee sort of thing, and you could voice your opinion. And the police brought up in New Zealand his Facebook profile and Facebook thing saying, "Oh, here you are with that famous Facebook." This is live in Parliament and in a hearing that they brought his Facebook up, that famous memes with the Nazi Germany's loading people in a box cart saying armed civilians won't let themselves be loaded in a box cart. And the police said, "You're actually saying we are Nazis, aren't you, the New Zealand police?" And he just came out and said it. He said, "Yes, The New Zealand police are fucking Nazis. You're all Nazis. You are no better than Nazi Germany for what you're doing to the New Zealand citizens. See, what are you going to do? Come around and drag me out of my wheelchair and arrest me?
Yeah.
Yes, you are Nazis. And he actually, I'll give him that. He stood up to them.
And did they come after him?
No, they didn't.
Yeah.
No.
Of course they would.
They probably didn't have a spare wheelchair.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is funny because you say that, and I'm just thinking about the scene from The Big Lebowski where John Goodman's character picks up the Big Lebowski out of his wheelchair and tries to get him to walk. I just watched it last night, and I'm just sitting there rolling.
One of my favorite movies of all time.
Oh man, I love that movie.
But yes, New Zealand gun laws, yeah, it's an absolute clusterfuck over there. It's pretty bad.
It really is.
And they're ongoing. So their elections are up this year. So it's going to be very interesting to see if Horseface, that's what everyone calls her, Jacinda Ardern, whatever her goddamn name is, her time is up this year. And they reckon she won't get back in again because of the gun laws. That's the sole reason.
Yeah.
But I'll say one thing. I'll say one thing about her. And before all this, the massacre happened at the mosque and that, before that happened, she actually came out and banned Chinese buying property in New Zealand.
Interesting.
Because it's huge over there. Huge. The Chinese were buying up houses and suburbs like no tomorrow. And she put a stop to it all. Really? I'll give her that much, but I won't give her any more. And that's something in Australia we need to do. And there was just an article out here in Australia where the Chinese, now that they're lifting their restrictions, it was you can have 10 people. Now you can have 150 people in the area sort of thing. The Chinese are all out again, starting to buy up properties and land here in Australia. See, they own some of our biggest stations. A station here is a farm. And we talk a farm in Australia in the outback is 200-300 million acres. And that's nothing. Like I worked with a bloke who in summer would come to Brisbane and work in the building trade only because it's so damn hot. We're talking like 45, 50 degrees in the shade in the outback during the day. It's Celsius during the day. So he'd just say, no, I can't do this. Come back for 6 months and work the summer in the building trade just as a labourer. And he said the driveway alone was half a day's drive. That's how big it is. You can drive in the outback and drive and not seeing like through the ranges through the middle of Australia, and not see a car for 4 days. Not park the car.
And that's so my dad, he watches an app. I call it an app. It's an app on Roku, but it's called Acorn, and I think it's Acorn. They have a whole bunch of Australian TV shows, and one of them is like Outback Truckers or something like that.
Yeah.
And they follow basically these truckers that are either doing the ring route or driving cross country or something like that, and talk about some of the perils that they have to go through just to get, get from one major city to another. And time and time again, they're like, well, if I get stuck here, this is it. I mean, I hope I have enough water.
Literally, that's what it's like. It is harsh. Yeah. A good friend of mine and me are going to go out. We're organising a hunting trip out west, and if you get stuck, you're stuck. That's it. Don't never think you're going to come back on time because it rains. You're stuck out there, and you're going to have. We're lucky because we're on a big station, a big farming station, so they got food and water and everything. So we're going to be okay. But yeah, it happens. It definitely happens. People driving along the outback roads, they break down. And they die, literally. That's what happens.
So my biggest question, though, is where exactly is the Thunderdome? Where exactly would that be?
I reckon North Queensland.
There you go. All right. So
Up
mystery
by
solved.
up by Cairns or maybe the Northern Territory, up by Darwin way. Yep, that's
Okay.
where it'll be. But it has always been a dream of mine. If society broke down, we'd become the Thunderdome.
Yeah. All right. So I got two good questions here. I'm going to jump on here real quick. First one should be pretty easy. In Australia, are you allowed to own crossbows or regular like compound bows?
I have a compound bow, but I haven't shot it since I went blind in my right eye.
Mhm.
But I'm getting back into that. Cross bows, not a problem. Any bows, not a problem. No license, no restrictions. Just buy it. Crossbows, you got to get a Category M license. So it's a firearms license to own a crossbow, and you can only shoot it. You got to belong to a club or be able to shoot it on 20 acres or more.
Really? Because it has a trigger? Is that what it is?
Yeah, because it's kinetic engine energy. So it's kinetic energy. It's stored energy, letting it loose. That's yeah, it does make sense. But that's it.
Technically, a compound bow is stored energy until you let it loose.
Yes, exactly. But crossbow, you crack it, and it's a trigger that lets it loose. So it's kinetic energy. That's why 20 acres you can shoot it on and hunt it on. But anything under that, you go to jail. So it's an M license. So please go watch the last video that I did with you about a month or so ago, and we explained the gun laws. It's called an M class. So it's an extra license. You got to pay like $100 to go do the course. Just to own a crossbow, and inside that is body armor and all that. But don't think you can use body armor. Oh no!
Oh no! Yeah. So Hootie Hoo, I just want to say a shout out to him. He says M for monkey business, and I also wanted to say real quick, congratulations to Hootie Hoo. He just crested 100,000 subscribers. I think just a little over a week ago. So congratulations to you. It's been awesome to see your growth over the last 6+ months and how awesome that has been. So keep on doing what you're doing. But definitely. So, and then let's see, the other question that I had here is, they were talking about when we were talking about driving out in the outback and stuff like that, is there cell phone signals out there, or do you have to do like ham or VHF radio, something like that?
You get cell phone signals in most sort of towns, and we're talking towns that have 40 people.
Okay.
So like we got Telstra, that's the big one, and then Optus, and then other carriers that use the Telstra system. So you pretty much get it, but I don't care because I go out there and you always carry an EPIRB, an emergency unit. So you crack that and it'll send a signal out if you get in trouble. You're bitten by a snake. Yeah, and I think we have 9 of the top 10 deadliest snakes in the world in Australia. So even when I go, sorry to get off on a tangent, even when I go just 5 minutes down the road from where I live to the farm, I always wear good boots, long pants, and just because there is snakes out there. And we got 9 of the 10 top deadliest snakes. And you get bashed by a king cobra. Okay, this is how it is. You bring up a spade, you see a king cobra, king brown snake. You bring up a spade. By the time you brought that spade up to hit it, it's bitten you something like 15 times.
Oh, geez.
You're dead. You're dead within 5 minutes.
Good night.
But their fangs are so small and weak, they can't get through like denim or long pants. So I always wear that. I'm always aware. I check things out. I shoot on all sorts of areas of the property. So you're always aware. And I always wear long pants anyway. And when I'm out west hunting, I wear camo long sleeves because the sunburn's just awful. The sunburn, and you get burnt within an hour. You're like a tomato, tomato.
Yeah, right. Tomato. So, hey, Vanessa, good to see you. I haven't seen you in a long time. Thanks for jumping in. Who actually has a great question when it comes to snakes in Australia. Are you allowed to kill them? Because he says in his state,
No,
it's illegal to kill snakes.
it's about a $20,000 fine if you kill a snake,
Really?
even if it's trying to kill you. So you got to plead your case. Like, okay, so here's the thing. A good friend of mine, he owns 5 acres just down the road from me, and his granddaughter was there, and a big brown snake was trying to go the granddaughter through a like a mosquito net thing. So he just shot it with a shotgun. The police turned up. We're going to arrest him and take all his guns off him and take his gun license off him. So he pleaded his case right there on the spot, and they said that was okay. But it's like a $20,000 fine if you kill a snake, even like the real bad ones.
Really?
A taipan or a brown snake, and you get nailed. So if you shoot it, okay, disclaimer, always follow the law. But if you shoot a snake, just don't tell anyone.
Yeah. And bury the evidence, I guess. I don't know.
Or eat it.
It
tastes like chicken.
Tastes like chicken. Yes, it does.
Yeah, I've eaten snake.
And alligator tastes like pork chop. So
no, it's a bit more leathery. It's
the alligator that I had tastes like pork chop to me. So
yeah. We don't have alligators. We have crocodiles.
Well, yeah, so there we go.
Yeah. So it was like in between. It was like leathery and
sure.
Yeah, but to me, everything tastes the same with tomato sauce.
Richard's wanting to know: do you guys have a toad problem down there?
Yeah, cane toads. Yeah. When it rains, okay, I'll make a video just for you, and I'll send it to you next time it rains. And the cane toads, it's like you're sitting down in the bayou, and you're expecting you got a real pretty mouth to come out. There's just cane toads everywhere. And you can't see them, but you just hear them. But we can't shoot them here.
Yeah.
Unless you're on more than 40 acres.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I think we've been going for an hour and a half. I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. I'll give it to you. Give you the last word here. What do you want to say to everybody out there as far as your channel, what's going on, what's coming up, things that people should know?
Well, we have 2 to 3 videos a week coming out, and every Thursday night at 7 o'clock our time, which is probably the middle of the night your time, we actually started a weekly live stream just like this. And I've got a mate in Sydney who we talk to, the Australian Hunting Podcast, and we just talk about whatever you want to talk about, basically. And
is that on your channel, or is it a separate channel?
No, that's on my channel.
Okay.
I don't want to split the channels up anymore. Just all got to be on one channel. So we're just going to talk about like this week coming up this Thursday night, which is your Wednesday, probably about I don't know, it's probably going to be in the middle of the night your time. It's 7 o'clock Australian time, and we're just going to talk about hunting accessories, just things like that. And every week we'll try and talk about something, then answer all your questions. So we're going to start doing that. And every week we got some sort of gun review or a product review coming out or a fun video. I'm trying to change the channel up a little bit and be a bit more fun. And shooting something that most people don't shoot. And I'm really trying to get into the long range shooting.
Right. A couple of weeks ago, it was about 3 weeks ago, actually, I tried to get back into and shake the dust off of my long range shooting. It didn't go so well. So I was like, nah, we'll forget about that for now.
I've taken a Lithgow Woomer out, which is the LA 105. You can buy it in the US. I've taken it out and got half MOA groups at 1,000 meters, well, so 1 kilometer.
All right.
Haven't touched it. Did not touch it. Put it in the safe. 2 weeks later, take it out, and I'm missing the entire target.
Wow, yep. That's crazy. So I will just brag and boast this last weekend, yesterday actually, when I was doing my work on the 4 different videos that I was working on, I was able to get half MOA groups at 25 meters with my 300 blackout. So stuff it. All right.
Hey, you bet me. I just reviewed a Hauer and an Oryx stock, which is made by MDT, 300 blackout. Okay, we got only bolt actions, and it was rifle was good. It actually worked really well, but the round, no. Out of a bolt action, forget about it. But I was trying to shoot 100 meters, and it was a group like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, not impressed. It's like, sorry.
I was going to say 300 blackout is great for suppressing, not great for anything over 100 yards or 100 meters. Yeah, 100 yards is actually about about the limit to its effective range.
Unsuppressed bolt action, I would say anything over 50 meters, forget about it.
Yeah.
I remember you guys are allowed to practice on human-sized targets. We can't.
Yeah.
And useless round, just like the 350 Legend. I got a review on my channel if you guys want to watch it. I got the first rifle in Australia which is the American rifle, Ruger American rifle. And it was rifle, not a problem. It worked really well, but the round was absolute dog shit. Out of a bolt action, it was awful.
Yeah,
it really was. It was just falling out of the sky, literally. It was that bad.
So you just got a new subscriber, LZ USA, just jumped on your channel. He says, I just subscribed, so thank you so much
thank
for
you.
that.
Thank
yeah,
you
that's awesome.
I appreciate every subscriber. I really do. Please subscribe to us.
Yeah, absolutely.
It means so much. And subscribe to you. Subscribe to Fit and Fire.
Yeah, if you come on over from Shooting Stuff Australia, please feel free to jump on in and see what's going on.
Yes, definitely.
I think we talked about this last time. Chris is asking about the Ruger Charger 9mm pistols. Didn't we talk about that?
I've brought one. I'm going to have one of the first in the country.
There you go. There you go, Chris. So
it's going to end of the year though over here.
Yeah,
we're the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to dishing out guns, and I can't wait. But the problem is, and I'm probably going to need your help, Mark, is I'm going to need a stock for a Picatinny rail stock. So I'm going to need one sent over here.
Okay, I think we can figure that out.
Yeah. So because over here it's classed as a pistol. So, but if the whole thing comes under 750 mils, which is 75 centimeters, which is, I don't know what it is in your archaic imperial measurements, probably 5,000 yards or something. I don't know. If it comes underneath that, we can have a stock on our pistols. No questions asked. So I'm going to need a stock on it because the model they're selling here in Australia has no stock. And everywhere I look, they're sold out.
Or
they don't sell to Australia.
That seems about par for the course. So if you are
hanging for that,
let's see. So let's see. Chris is asking, are you wanting a pistol brace for the Charger and the SB Tactical 1913 or the SBA3?
Well, we don't need pistol braces here. We can actually have the stock.
Oh, okay.
Because we don't need pistol braces here. As long as the entire gun as a pistol comes underneath 750 mils in Queensland, it's legal. You can put whatever you want on it.
Oh, interesting.
So like your SBRs.
Right, exactly. So just so you guys know, I'm going to calculate this for you. You said 750 mils?
Yep. I think it's like 500 miles or something like that. I don't know.
So if you convert it to the empirical measurement, that's going to be 29.52 inches, 29.53 inches overall length. So I think that's the requirement. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yep.
And you want to come in just below, because over here we have safe checks. Once a year they come over and check your guns and check your safe. And you could, like, I had a really good guy. A guy name was Ben from my local shop. He just didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
But you could get a real bad guy that will measure down to the millimeter. 1 millimeter over that, you lose your gun, lose your license, lose all your guns. That's how bad. There's no grey area.
Mm-hmm.
It's gone. Where most police here, well, just don't care. It's like, this is a waste of our time.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But you got to be very careful.
Very careful, yeah. Always. I mean, even over here, we have pretty lax stuff, but you have to be careful as well. So, but I did post a link into the chat for you guys if you guys are interested. And the easiest way to subscribe to the channel, just click the link and then hit subscribe, and you guys will be set up with Shooting Stuff Australia. So
really appreciate that.
Absolutely. So we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Actually, I got a daughter that I got to put to bed. So she's out of school now, and she's up late. That's okay. But I got to get her to bed. But thanks, Richard, for subscribing to SSA. That's pretty awesome.
Thank you so much, guys.
Armlet and Axis, good to see you jumping in there late. That's cool. But with that being said, thanks for swinging by, guys. Again, thank you, Shooting Stuff Australia, for swinging by. It's always a great time. I mean, like I said, we've been going for an hour and 40 minutes, and it seems like it hasn't been that long at all. So it's always great to have you by. So
thank you so much.
Well, let's have you back on here in just a few weeks once we get kind of over the hump with COVID, and kind of swing back by, and let's talk about some long range stuff. I think that's what we'll do next time. We'll do some long range stuff. So
I should have my new custom built. You've seen it, or before it's painted. It's actually getting painted right now. It's going to be the third paint job in all of Australia to look like this.
Oh, nice. Nice.
6.5 PRC, and this thing is a beast. I just hope that God it shoots, because the amount of money I've spent on this damn thing.
I am I'm actually looking my safe is open. I'm actually looking at my safe right now, and there's a couple different things in there. I'm like, I think it's about time to let it go.
This is something, sorry to extend it a little bit, but we're doing actually a course, not a course, but a blokes, just me and my mate Jason from the hunting podcast I was telling you about. We're doing a series on long range shooting, but we're not professionals. We don't know what we're doing. We're giving tips on what we have learned on the way of doing what we're doing. We're not claiming we're good. We're not claiming we're professionals. We've put the first video out, then how to get into long range shooting, and the one coming out soon is choosing your caliber. Then it's choosing your gun, then choosing your scope, and just things that two blokes sitting out in a paddock are figuring out for themselves without any form of training or anything like that. Just what like you and me would do, or a lot of the viewers that we have, just sitting out there and figuring this crap out for yourself, not actual being trained by people. So we're going to start. We've got the first video out, into how to get into long range shooting. The next one's going to be hopefully within the next week or 2 weeks, how choosing the correct caliber for you, and then it's going to go on from that. So that's an entire different story we can get into.
No,
As you said, we'll talk about that then.
Yeah, that'd be great. So I'll definitely start watching for those videos, and then here in a few weeks we'll have you back on, and we'll kind of go over what you've already done up to that point. So, all right, man. Well, as always, guys, thanks for swinging by. I really do appreciate it. Mandatory carry. Thank you so much for dropping in the $2. Sorry you're late. No worries. Keep fighting, Aussie. So, and as always, we got to do it. You're on, so we got to do it. So, Aussie.
Oi, oi, oi.
There we go. Everybody have a great night. We guys, we'll see you guys later. Hey, Armament and Axes, thanks for jumping in for that as well. $2. But it's all good. Even if you're late, it's all good. So have a great night. And as always, keep calm and carry. We see you guys next week. Bye, y'all.
Thank you so much.